Brian, it's me, the number one caller voted by all PTL listeners around the globe, calling in. So everyone.
Who did that vote? I didn't know we did a vote. Who voted on that?
They did.
Oh, they did.
Oh,
Okay.
everybody knows.
I think
everybody knows.
I think
I'm
that's
the number
fake
one
news.
caller.
Okay. I think that's fake news, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I had to call because I clearly misunderstood or misheard what you said. You said, man, nobody gave Joe Biden credit for giving up the merchant of death, the international arms dealer who was tracked by the FBI for 5 years.
Okay, so that's not what I said. Let's have a conversation about that. First of all, that's not what I said. I said they didn't give Joe Biden credit for multiple things, including bringing back hostages to October 2023, Natalie, Renan, and Judith. I mentioned January of 2025, September 2023, December of 2022. Number two, were you the same person? Were you the same person that was complaining about Donald Trump calling into shows when he released 5,000 Taliban terrorists? 5,000. Were you calling into shows complaining about that? Listen, I don't like the fact that this guy was freed, but unfortunately, just like in this situation, where a lot of Palestinians and a lot of people, by the way, that have committed some horrible crimes, Benjamin Netanyahu was forced to release them. When you make these sorts of trades, or lack of a better term, there are going to be bad people on the other side that are going to be released. Obviously, you don't understand that, but that's okay. Since you're asking me about one individual, I'm asking you now, were you outspoken about Donald Trump releasing 5,000 Taliban terrorists? Yes or no?
I don't know specifically.
Oh, how convenient. Well, guess what? Let me educate you, because when I try to educate you MAGA buffoons, you don't know anything about it. So now let me educate you, and let's see what you have to say. So you referred to one horrible, horrific human being, which I would agree with, who belongs behind bars, who Joe Biden had to negotiate and release him to get back 3 Americans who were jailed. That's what you are talking about. And you seem to have a big problem with that. Well, you see, my friend, 5,000 Taliban terrorists were released under Donald Trump. 5,000. So my question to you is, number one, why haven't you heard about that? And number two, can you find me a time in our history where either Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Barack Obama or George W. Bush or any of these people negotiated with terrorist organizations and didn't have to give up something in return? As we pod you back up on the show, can you please give me an example of that?
Well, no, but no.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You got to tell me, though. Just tell me what we got in exchange, and I'll tell you if it's a good deal or a bad deal. What did we get in exchange?
I really don't care.
You don't know?
No. I do know.
Maybe we get
bottom down again. When you ask me a question, you give me a chance to answer it. If you're going to interrupt me, then the conversation is over. By the way, you are either extremely ill-informed or uneducated or lying, that you don't know that Donald Trump helped release 5,000 Taliban terrorists. 5,000, you seem to know nothing about that, but Joe Biden makes a deal to get back 3 Americans, and you don't like the fact that he released 1 horrible terrorist, and you want to make that case, but then on the other side of things, you know nothing about Donald Trump releasing 5,000 terrorists. So I could care less about what your opinions are on that. Okay, well, I can don't well me. Don't well me. I'm asking you for a 3rd time. Are you okay with Donald Trump? I'm asking for a 5th time. I'll ask 20 times until you answer it. Are you okay with Donald Trump, who released 5,000 Taliban terrorists? Yes or no? Don't tell me. No. Don't tell me. I don't know about it then. I don't know about it, you freaking clown. I don't know about it. It's so interesting when I bring up a retort to what you imbeciles say, and all of a sudden, I don't know anything about that. You sound like J.D. Vance. Oh, I don't know anything about Tom Homan. I don't know anything about that. Have you seen the violence on January 6th? Oh, I didn't see any of that video. I don't know anything about that, you turd. If you're going to call into this show, you better know what you're talking about. Let me explain to you something. There is no trade in American history where we got prisoners back, where everybody was happy with what we gave up. That's part of negotiating with really horrible, bad people. That's what Joe Biden did. That's what Joe Biden did, you dope. You imbecile. Did you give Joe Biden credit for any of the things that I mentioned?
I'm just asking.
I'm just asking. Oh, I'll answer like you did. I'll answer like you did. I'll answer like you did, you dope. I don't know anything about that. What do you think about that,
So
you
then
MAGA
the
turd?
5,000 might have been the best trade ever. We don't know what we got in return.
Oh, okay. So what do you think would be a good thing that we got in return for releasing 5,000 Taliban terrorists? Give me an example.
They said, listen, we'll disarm 50
They didn't
nuclear
disarm.
weapons.
That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Know?
Because
Well, what
Donald
did we
Trump,
get?
because I'll tell you
instead.
why. I'll tell you why. You see, we do know what happened when Joe Biden negotiated and released the terrorist that you're talking about. He released a terrorist. We got 3 American citizens. We do know. The reason why we don't know what the Taliban gave us is because Donald Trump caved. That's why. They did not get rid of their artillery and weapons, because if they did, we would have known about it and Donald Trump would have been gloating about it. So you are wrong. So I find it very convenient. I find it very convenient, sir, that you call into the show and you have a problem with a trade that Joe Biden made, us getting 3 American citizens back, releasing 1 terrorist. But yet, you don't even know anything about the deal that Donald Trump made when he released.
But you don't
not
either.
5.
Excuse
me, sir. 5,000. And you're trying to make the excuse. Maybe we got something in return. Listen, you're a fool. You're a fool. Okay.
You thought we gave him.
You're an Hey, by the way, is the war over? Is the war over? Between Hamas and Israel?
Yes, the war over. You said we're going to have.
I asked you a question. Don't answer a question. Don't answer a question. Pot him down again. You see, sir, the way that this works is I ask a question and you answer it. You don't answer a question with a question, you fool. I'm asking you a very specific question now, since we're talking about deals and you're a Donald Trump supporter. Sir, I need you to pay attention now, okay? Don't answer the question with a question. Otherwise, the conversation is over. It's not much of a conversation anyway, because you're a moron. We've established that. Please tell me whether the war is over or not right now. Is it over? Because Donald Trump, your Sir Turd Orange leader, said it was over. So now I'm asking you your opinion, sir, since you're such a smart guy. Is the war over in the Middle East? Is it over? Is it over? Yes or no? Is it over?
Yes,
is the war over?
There's no more fighting.
Is the war over? Is the war over? Yes or no?
Since they announced,
is the war over? Yes or no? Is the war over? Yes or no? Okay, well then you're a complete 100%. Idiot. So Hamas hasn't been disarmed. If the war was over, why would an evil terrorist organization still have weapons? If the war was over, why isn't Benjamin Netanyahu saying the war is over? Don't get me wrong. I'm sure you know much more than he does, because you sound like such an educated man. Why isn't the prime minister of Israel saying the war is over? And why is it that Hamas is still in control of Gaza? Please explain that to me, sir, since you're so intelligent. Go ahead.
It's been 2 days.
It's been 2 days. Okay, so if it's only okay, so first of all, the war is not over. As I repeat once again, because you're an imbecile, I'll repeat it again. Hamas still has their weapons. That means the enemy still has all their weapons, and they still are in control of parts of Gaza. That means the war is not over. And if your excuse is it's only been 2 days, then maybe the president of the United States shouldn't say the war is over when it's only been 2 days. You're making the point for me, you imbecile. Can you make one valid point in this whole conversation? You just get dumber and dumber by the second, sir. You really do.
Again,
this
master class in my debate.
Yeah, okay. Here's a master class. Here's the master class on how to hang up on the master debater moron that you are. You say the war is over. You say the war is done. The war's over when the enemy in Hamas still has all their weapons and they're still in control parts of Gaza. You complain to me about a Joe Biden deal that he made to get 3 Americans back here in this country and gave up, yes, 1 bad terrorist. That's the deal that had to be made. You have a huge problem with that. But yet when Donald Trump releases 5,000 Taliban terrorists, not only do you not know anything about it, but you're trying to make excuses saying maybe it was worth it. But we get 3 Americans back and we release 1 terrorist. You have a huge problem with what Joe Biden did, but 5,000 Taliban terrorists, I don't know anything about it. You're a freaking moron. Go watch your Newsmax, okay? And go fly a kite, you jerk. Speaking of points not well taken, let's go to Herb. Herb is next up on PTL. Hello, Herb. Good afternoon.
I need to ask you a serious question.
Okay.
Oh boy, that'd be the first time.
Because I don't know the answer to it, or at least I'm not sure of the answer.
Okay, I'll answer anything. Go ahead.
The day of and the day after, I think Charlie Kirk got shot on a Wednesday. Am I correct? It was a Wednesday.
I don't know what day it was, but I know I was on the air. when it happened.
Okay, but were you on the radio air?
Yes, I was.
Yes,
On the radio.
about 8 minutes into the show. Yes.
So I will answer Herb's question. Herb, the answer is yes. You could go back and you could listen to the show that I did. It actually happened in real time when I was on the air. So I hope I answered your question. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? And by the way, why are you asking that?
But the reason why I say that is because I tuned into your radio show and I didn't get anything. And I tuned in.
So Herb, let me fill you in.
Listen. It might have been my radio. I'm not saying it's your fault.
It might have been your MAGA radio. So Herb, I'll try to answer your question. Okay.
And the other thing I
hold on, Herb. You can ask me another question. Herb, you can ask me. Herb, you can ask me another question. No problem. Just give me a second to answer. Okay. Herb, not only did I talk about it, but it was the entire show. 5 minutes into the show, my producer did a good job in giving me the information. I watched it in real time like everybody else was. I actually got emotional, Herb. And it was a very difficult show to do. You can go back and you can watch it and on YouTube.
You were watching it live, and
so Herb,
it was hard to watch.
I know you're on YouTube, but I was listening on the radio.
Okay, well, we're also on the radio, so I don't know what you mean by that.
I know that, but that day you were on the radio, right?
I would assume so, unless we had technical issues. Nobody complained to me.
No, that's what I'm saying, Brian. I think you had technical issues.
Okay, Herb, you're wasting our time. Even if that was true, which I don't believe it is. Who cares?
I didn't know if it was me or if it was your radio station.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, I thought that the reason why they were upset with Jimmy Kimmel was because he came on and he made a comment about the fact that this was MAGA that had him shot. The person that shot Charlie Kirk was MAGA. I thought that's why.
Okay, so there's so first of all, he never said MAGA shot Charlie Kirk. Those are not the words that he used. Number two, the joke that he made about Donald Trump, I am told, his lack of mourning is what got the White House extremely upset, and they lied, and they said that he was making jokes about Charlie Kirk's murder, which he never did. Those are lies being put forth, saying that Jimmy Kimmel was celebrating the death. By the way, you're a MAGA Republican. Can you name me one prominent Democrat, just one, that was celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk? Because a lot of people on the right lie. When I did the Piers Morgan show, Riley Gaines lied. Can you please quote one person that is a registered Democrat, that is a politician who, quote, celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk? Maybe you can't. I don't know. But I'm just curious.
No, I never. I mean, they said some things that were probably they shouldn't have said, but I don't know if anybody would actually.
Correct. Right. Now, it's your opinion that some people might have said things they shouldn't have said. That's your opinion, which you're entitled to. But what I'm trying to bring up is the fact that there are people on the far right, including Donald Trump and others, that have literally quoted as saying Democrats and elected officials are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. I don't agree with Ilhan Omar's comments, but she did not say she celebrated or was gleeful or happy that Charlie Kirk was murdered. The right are lying to you, Herb. They are not.
Listen. I listen to you. I listen to other people. I don't listen to any one station. I listen to CNN, MSNBC. I watch Fox News. I watch them all.
You're making my point.
Brian, I'm making my own mind. Really, I do.
Okay, so I'm asking you. I understand. I understand that. But Herb, can you name one prominent Democrat official?
No, I can't.
So why? Okay, I appreciate that. So why?
Why in the context that you're talking about? When you
so why are they saying that then, Herb? That's my point. Will you call out the people on the right, including the president of the United States, that are claiming that Democrats in office are, quote, celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk? Will you call them out for their lies?
Well, I don't need to call them out. You always want somebody to blame somebody.
No, I want somebody to. No.
Idea.
No, Herb, you're making the point. You're making the point for me, Herb. The right never takes accountability for anything. People were up in arms because of Jimmy Kimmel's joke. But yet, so many Republicans out there, including the president of the United States, is lying, and you won't, or you don't want them to take any responsibility for their lies. Why is it that people like you always want the left to apologize? They want Al Franken to be fired because of maybe a borderline inappropriate photo. But when Donald Trump lies about the 2020 election, when he lies about the jobs report that came out, when he fires people because it doesn't help him politically, all the things that Donald Trump does and says and all the things he lies about. And I'm giving you a perfect example right now. There are people on the right, elected officials, Mark Wayne Mullen, Donald Trump, there are many others, even on the Piers Morgan show, I had to deal with this, that are saying that Democrat officials are celebrating his death. The reason why you can't name one is because not one Democrat in office has done that, yet you're not willing to call it out and say it's wrong. Oh, why should I have to say that? Why? You know what? Because
well, let me ask you this, Brian.
A question. Yeah,
let
of
me
course.
ask you this.
Of course.
Are you willing to admit the fact that Jimmy Kimmel's numbers over the last several years have gone way down?
Okay, so I'm going to answer. Are you going to let me answer? Are you going to let me answer? Are you going to let me?
One more thing.
Oh, no. We do one at a time. No. You don't run the show. I do. One at a time. You're not going to ask me two questions at once. First of all, who the hell cares in context what Jimmy Kimmel's ratings are? Who cares?
It's irrelevant.
Whether his numbers went down or not, and I don't study Jimmy Kimmel's audience numbers. Who the hell cares? I asked you about Republicans in office, like the president of the United States lying to the American people. And you care what people say on Twitter about Jimmy Kimmel's numbers? What the hell is wrong with you?
The president was blaming the left before they had any information. They didn't even know who the shooter was or what happened. And he was on TV blaming the left.
Herb, why do you care if people on...
Can I tell you why?
Why do you care if people on social media are talking about his ratings? Who cares?
Brian, listen to me.
I'm listening.
I don't care. However, the Nielsen polls have shown over the last 5 years,
who cares?
His audience has dropped.
Who cares?
And
who cares? Why do you care? Who cares?
But Herb, that could be for a number of reasons. That could be funding.
Who cares?
That could be advertising. That could be marketing. That could be that the station has other priorities.
Hold on a second, Herb. Hold on a second. Let's just say everything you're saying is correct. Who the F cares? I don't care about his ratings.
How's
the
it relevant?
country doesn't care about his ratings. Either you like the show and you watch, or you don't like the show. That's not relevant, and that's not dangerous. If somebody on social media is saying Jimmy Kimmel's numbers are through the roof, by the way, they were yesterday. What's relevant is that the man who you voted for, which you will not call him out for, because you will not hold the Republicans responsible for anything, saying that elected Democrat officials are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. I find that to be far more serious and more dangerous than some people on social media that are lying about Jimmy Kimmel's ratings. Why is it, Herb, as we bring you back up, that you don't understand that?
Wait a minute, Brian, are you potting me down?
Herb, have a nice day. You're a waste of my Herb. You're a waste. No, Herb, I'm not potting you down. I'm disconnecting you because you're wasting our time and you're an idiot. That's why. Herb is next on PTL. Hello, Herb.
Hey, Brian, how you doing today, buddy? Let me ask you one question. I don't want to.
Are you going to hang up?
Nothing else. I just want you to answer.
If you don't hang up, I will. If you don't hang up, I will.
Well, you hung up on me the last two times.
Not true. That's 100% false. That's a lie.
Brian,
Go ahead,
hung up on me.
I'm not hanging up on you, Herb. Ask your stupid question. Go ahead.
Okay, here's my question. Are we still at war with Iran? Because you said
sure, I'll answer that. Iran. Sure, I'll gladly answer that question. So Donald Trump claimed, and the Trump administration claimed, that we were at war with Iran before the bombing because, and so did Benjamin Netanyahu, because they were furthering their nuclear capabilities, not according to our own intelligence, but according to Israeli intelligence. Our own intelligence told us, based on the report 24 hours later after the bombing, that we only set back Iran 2 to 3 months. So if, according to the Trump administration, we were at war with Iran before the bombing, which multiple members of the Trump administration said, if we only, based on our own intelligence, set back the Iranian government with their nuclear capabilities 2 to 3 months, please explain to me how we're not in war now.
Brian, what did the United Nations Atomic Commission say?
Why are you not answering my question? I'm asking you a very specific question.
What was their report? What was their report?
What was our report? What was our report? What was our report? There doesn't have to be casualties to be labeled at war with another foreign country. So that is a stupid comment on your part. There doesn't have to be casualties, Herb. I'm answering you to what
Right,
you
I
just said.
understand that. But
Herb,
Brian,
then why
the
would you
United
then why
Nations-
would you bring that up? Okay, hold on, Herb. I'm asking you a question now because I answered yours respectfully. I'd like you to answer mine now.
No,
And I'm going
there
to
you
repeat
go.
it.
Brian,
I'm going to
let me
repeat it
say
once
something.
again. Herb, the way this works is you can disagree with me and I can disagree with you. You asked me a
Yeah.
question. I answered
And the
it.
way it works,
Herb,
Herb,
I'm going to let you talk if you answer my question. I answered yours.
Okay, what's your
Now,
question?
okay, thank you. I'll repeat it again, but this time I would appreciate it if you can listen to my question. And as long as you attempt to answer it, I will give you the opportunity. My
Yes,
question,
talk,
thank you.
Brian.
I will do what I want to do because it's
damn.
my show and not yours. The question is, before the bombing, members of Trump's administration claimed that we were at war with Iran and so was Israel. Israel's intelligence told our intelligence that they had weapons of war that they were fulfilling. We went in there, and then our own report, America's report, 24 hours after this bombing, in that report said we set them back maybe 2 to 3 months. So my question to you stands as, how are we not at war with them now when they claimed we were at war with them before the bombing, and after the bombing, our own intelligence said we set them back 2 to 3 months? How does that mean we're not at war now? Please answer.
Brian, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Now listen, without you talking. We were at war, and the reason why they said we were at war is because we were fighting so many of their proxies.
That's not true.
The Houthis.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's why we
That's
were at
not
war
true.
with Iran.
That's
because
not
they
true.
wasn't playing.
That's not true. No, that's not true. And I'm going to correct you on that. Here's what Benjamin.
Okay. Well, let me say
No,
something else, Brian.
it's not okay because you just said something that is not factually accurate. I will let you continue, but I'm going to interject, as I do with anybody who says something that is not factually accurate. Based on the Israeli intelligence and Donald Trump, what he said at a podium, the reason why we were at war with Iran, which we still are now, is because they claimed that Iran had furthered their nuclear capabilities. It had nothing to do with the Houthis or whatever else you mentioned. That is not factually accurate. We bombed their nuclear facilities. If what you said was true, how would we be hurting the Houthis by bombing an alleged nuclear facility? What you're saying makes absolutely no sense. It makes 0 sense, Herb, what you are saying. 0.
Brian, did Iran have a bunch of proxies around the world?
That is not the question. The question
No,
is,
I'm asking you. Answer the question.
and that is not relevant. And that is not relevant to this conversation. What we're talking
Yes,
about
it
is
is.
being at war. No, we're not. They bombed
Okay,
an alleged
Brian.
nuclear facility. Don't Brian me. They bombed an alleged
I
nuclear
did Brian
facility.
you. That's
Let me
your
ask
name,
you.
isn't it?
Let me ask
Is
you.
that
Hey
your
Herb.
name?
Hey Herb. Let me
Is
ask
that
you a
your
question.
name, or are you
Hey
still-
Herb. Hey Herb.
And
Hey
why do
Herb.
you beg for
Hey, Herb.
conservatives to call
Hey Herb.
your
I
station?
don't beg.
Why
You know
do
what?
beg for
Here's how
MAGAs
much
to
I'm
call?
begging for my producer now to hang up on you. I'll take responsibility for this one. I don't beg for anything. Have a nice day, you turd. What a turd. Oh my God. That guy must be the dumbest of all callers. He's the dumbest of all PTL callers, ladies and gentlemen. He really is. So he's claiming that we're not at war with Iran before the bombing. Okay. Literally right before the bombing, Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu made public statements claiming that we were at war with Iran because they had furthered their nuclear capabilities. At least that's what Israel said, because Benjamin Netanyahu wanted us to hurt Iran. So if we were at war then, how could we be at war, not at war now? See, notice how Herb talks about the Houthis and he doesn't want to answer the question, because Herb is your typical ill-informed MAGA moron. That's why. Herb, I did hang up on you this time. And the reason why I did is because you claim that I beg for people like you to call into this show. Luckily, Herb, I have a very large audience with mostly very informed, intelligent people, the opposite of you. I thank them for listening to this program, and never would I beg some moron with a 10 IQ like you to ever call into this show. But you're welcome to call back anytime you'd like, Herb.